My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Every single week, we break down full fight cards. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our content. Next up, at UFC Vegas 47, we have Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Carlston Harris. Shavkat Rakhmonov is 14-0 with 14 stoppages. Carlston Harris is 17-4. He's 5-0. Riding a 5-fight stoppage streak. Shavkat Rakhmonov, this guy's pretty special, man. He's a good fighter. He's one of those guys that when you watch him, you just feel it. You feel like you're watching somebody special do something special. He's 14-0, has a 100% finish rate. He's knocking people out on their feet. He's taking them down and submitting them. He's even jumping to guillotine. I've mentioned that a few times, but how many people have we seen jump to a guillotine and blow it, lose the position, and it's a mess? He's doing it and getting them, and I think he's done it twice I've seen. So, you know, the guy takes chances. He's doing great things on his feet, great things on the ground, and absolutely getting it done. He could literally win a fight everywhere. He's hard to hit, and he also has a ton of power. He's got solid defensive wrestling and judo, and he's very active when he gets it to the ground. Carlston Harris is also a pretty well-rounded guy. He's got wild striking, but he has some power in there. He's a very slick, opportunistic grappler as well, meaning he'll snatch up a Darce or even a standing head and arm when he sees an opening. We've seen him hold people against the cage and then work in a head and arm choke while holding them against the cage. His wrestling is solid. He doesn't have traditional takedowns. It's mostly body locks and trips. And as soon as he hits the mat, he's working towards something. This should be a really fun fight because Carlston loves to swing wild with his striking, and Rakhmonov has no issues getting into a firefight. Both guys are finishers. Both guys can make things happen on the ground. I understand the odds here, you know, minus 240, flirting with a 3-1 favorite. I understand the odds. I do disagree. I think this is a fun, competitive fight. Carlston could absolutely pull this off as an underdog. I would argue if this gets out of the first and late in the second, Carlston could take over. And I haven't necessarily seen Shavkat completely gas, but I have seen him slow down. I have seen him get frustrated if he's not stopping people. Like, he doesn't necessarily keep his composure the entire fight, where Carlston has seen adversity in fights and continues to come forward, doesn't slow down. There's no hiccups there. I will give the edge to Rakhmonov here because I think he can get it to the ground more effectively. I think he's definitely, you know, he's the better striker. Carlston Harris is wild and has more power, but I think Rakhmonov is probably the better striker. Carlston has solid wrestling. He's undefeated in the UFC. He's currently 0-for-4 in takedowns in the UFC, and he might need them here. So I like Rakhmonov, but it is an interesting fight. What do you think, Jakey?
Yeah, I know everyone loves Rakhmonov. He's kind of like the new thing, the new smasher, the you know, the face of the welterweight division coming up and coming. But there's something about Carlston Harris, man, in this matchup that I just absolutely love, and I think it is just the relentless wrestling. I think he's able to get the takedowns, and with that 14-0 record, Rakhmonov, he's not used to losing exchanges. He's not used to being on his back. He's not used to being in those situations. You mentioned the adversity of being in a situation where you're losing. And I think there's going to be a moment in this fight, and I think it happens early, within the first 2 minutes, where Carlston Harrison gets that body lock, he gets a takedown. Rakhmonov feels that pressure, and I think there's going to be a real oh shit moment for Rakhmonov in this fight early, and I think Carlston Harrison kind of dominates from that point on, where he gets a little desperate, he gets a little bit wild. I've already seen in a lot of his exchanges, when he throws combos, it's a lot of times it's hands low out of those combos. He throws wild, and his hands don't really come back up. Carlston Harrison, I think, can catch him with some of his wild shots or exchanges, or just get him to the ground and dominate him to the ground. I see this. I think the odds are wild. I think Carlston Harrison is much better than people give him credit for. I think his wrestling and grappling is fantastic, especially in this matchup. And I think that Rakhmonov is going to find himself in some trouble, and he's not going to know what to do when he's in that situation. I think he panics, and I think Carlston Harrison gets the job done. I think he wins the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to fight you on that. I think Rakhmonov wins, but these odds are stupid. This should be minus 150 plus 100. It should be something like that. Like these odds are crazy. I totally get why. I mean, Rakhmonov's 14-0 with 14 stoppages. I get it. The dude's the real deal. He's very, very, very good. But Carlston Harris is stupid tough. Has crazy, like his crazy striking could be a problem, or he can get caught because he's swinging like crazy. But interesting fight. I like Rakhmonov, but this is a weird card. We're going to leave Saturday night with every single favorite dominating and the odds were correct, or there's a lot of underdogs. I don't think this is a card where there's an in-between. I think it's one way or the other. DraftKings-wise, again, $9,000. I will probably spend it. I understand this fight is super close. The odds are wrong, but I got to lean on history here. He's 14-0 with 14 stoppages, and that's exactly what you need in DraftKings or stoppages. So I will probably spend the money because there's not a lot of other people on this card at that price point that I trust. So I will probably spend the money on him. You obviously like Carlston Harris at $7,200?
Well, I have my lock of the week that's kind of the same price, so it's a tough decision here. I got to put my lock of the week in there, so that's just the way the money weighs out. So he's probably not going to be in my lineup, but if I didn't have my lock of the week that I had to put in my lineup, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, and I guess I hear you. Monkey Knife Fight strike line 67-34. I don't know what to do with that. 67 is so high for a dude that has only stoppages, but I like. I do like this fight to go a little bit. I think it's a competitive fight, and I think there could be some solid striking, especially on the ground. And both of these guys, as of now, have a 100% takedown defense. Carlston Harris has not gotten a takedown debt in the UFC, and he will need one to win this fight. So I probably like the more and more here in Monkey Knife Fight. What do you think?
I think it's a lot of grappling exchanges and scrambles and stuff. So I don't like this line at all. I'm not going to give an answer. I refuse. Okay.
Well, very, as always, incredibly helpful with just solid insight. If you want to play a line and actually have a point, go to wewantpicks.com/MKF. Sign up with Monkey Knife Fight. They'll instantly match your deposit. All you do is say more or less on the strike lines here. And if you hit it, you could almost triple your money. You could even 25 times your money if you want to smash some of those together. And if you want 50 free dollars, go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, get your 50 free bucks.